good.
I'd like to call the February 8th, 2011 regular board meeting to order. If everyone would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call is trustees Darrenowski.
Here.
Tiffany.
Here.
Duberstein. Here. Barrett.
Here.
Daly.
Here.
And Walkington.
Here.
Mayor Soto is sick tonight. I'd like to ask for a motion to appoint Gary as chairperson.
So moved. Second.
Okay, trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Tiffany.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
And Daly.
Aye.
Okay. Go ahead.
We have established a quorum. I'll call for an approval of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Tiffany.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye. We will now entertain public comment.
Sold.
Thank you very much. Omnibus vote.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Tiffany.
Aye.
Duberstein. Aye. Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye. Under mayor's report. I'm not actually the mayor, so I have no report from the mayor. She didn't have any comments when she talked to me this afternoon, so we'll go on to the clerk.
Okay, letters were mailed out to all the candidates who are running in the April 5th, 2000 election regarding the four candidates forum, which is Tuesday, March 22nd, here at 7 p.m. We will have the moderator, Joan, who has been here in the past. She's performed these duties for the last two forums, and she is confirmed. So we're all set and ready to go. That's it.
Thank you. Treasurer?
Nothing to report.
You always say that.
EMA.
Yeah, I got a couple quick things. First of all, Mr. Banco's hours have been changed due to the storm and whatever his business, his company required him to do. So he had a couple quick comments. First of all, he said, I'd like to share with you, I was impressed with our village did under the conditions for the snowstorm, snow removal and recovery. All departments did a great job and wants to thank us for that. Also, we are checking into the possibility of some FEMA assistance to get an offset of some of the snow removal costs, because we know Dave Schultz has been out there busting his butt probably 20 hours a day right now, cleaning up and pushing snow back and keeping fire hydrants clean and cleared and making sure that intersections are open so people can see where they're going. So we'll see what we get back from FEMA, considering that Lake County was considered a disaster area, and they did declare a state of emergency and closed all roads during the height of the storm. So we've got that going on, and I guess we can tie that in with my report also at the same time.
Thank you. Building official, Russ.
Everybody's got my report. I just put it in the boxes tonight because I was in Ohio until today. I just got back a couple hours ago. The only thing I didn't have in it is a mistake. At the bottom of the report, I had 0 plumbing inspections, and Paul gave the report, which I didn't have in Ohio, so he did 3 of them. So we'll just add that number 3 under plumbing, which will give us, I think it's a total of 22 for the month. That was it.
Thank you. Public Works, Jeff.
Obviously, we have been extremely busy with the snow removal operations. This is going to continue on, I would imagine, throughout this week. I'm hoping to have everything wrapped up, pushed back and cleaned up by this weekend, weather permitting, equipment permitting. The only other item I have is that we officially moved into the new facility next door last Saturday. All of our equipment is out of that facility over there. One-time permits, we still have access to that facility until March 1. I will get over there to Mr. DeBruyne and let him know that we're out. It's been broom swept, cleaned up, make sure everything's okay with him, so turn in the keys. And working between snowflakes to get this place organized, so we're busy. We'll let it go with that, thank you.
How much space did it take up?
Right now we have about a half a bay full, but it's kind of a pile. So once everything is actually organized and put away, we will occupy one bay with the overhead door and then the bay to the east. That doesn't have the overhead door, that's another area before you go into the office where there's a little work area, workbench and so forth, where that little hut was. That. So theoretically 2. So there would still be 3 available at this time.
And Jeff, I just would like to say, I think you guys did an amazing job doing the cleanup this past blizzard. On my street, I know I was out shoveling away at 10 o'clock, and there was people who had already dug themselves out were able to get out and drive on the roads, and I think on Wednesday, and that was just absolutely amazing. I think you guys did a great job. And to the people who felt the need, who apparently didn't think you had enough food, so wanted to give you some of their own and throw some at you, I think that's ridiculous and behavior not becoming any human being, decent or otherwise. And I think that somebody who thinks that they can throw food at somebody who's trying to do their job really needs to look at themselves and find something else to do or maybe get a life. So I just wanted to...
Oh, thank you, Ted, I appreciate that. And I actually appreciate everybody's ongoing support from the board, the mayor, the trustees, and even the residents. It's been a very, very trying situation. This was an enormous amount of snowfall in a very short time. And the thing that really got us on this one was the wind, because as soon as you made a pass around the street, it would just blow right back in. It was everything we had to keep one lane clear. And it was to the point where Hainesville Road was so bad, they pulled the county plows off the road. In order for us to get back to the building, we had to actually plow Hainesville Road. So you could get to Hainesville Road, once you got there, you were going anywhere, because that snow was 3 feet deep. It was everything our pickup truck had to push our way so I could get back to the building to use a facility, get a drink, what have you, a cup of coffee. So in that sense, it was even better that we were doing that, because we would be able to get, emergency equipment to our village, where other municipalities probably couldn't. So.
Since Dave just walked in, Dave, what we're doing is sharing our thanks as a board and as citizens for the work that you and your company and relatives and neighbors and everything, whoever you brought in, did a fine job.
Thank you very much.
The new building has been, you got new keys and the alarm system is set up now? Or?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was rekeyed a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
To the same type of do not duplicate key that we have here at the Village Hall. And the office area has been alarmed. So there's a keypad, a door sensor for the front door and for the door that goes out to the shop, and then a motion sensor inside, so it's secure once we get our records in there. But yeah, the monitoring and everything, so it's all good to go.
Do you have time to move the records over yet?
Not yet. Khakis been on me about that.
There's some front end loaders.
Right
Village Attorney, Jim.
Thank you. During the past month, we had the real estate closing for the Boys and Well purchase. Also drafted the ordinance that's on the agenda tonight. The reason for that ordinance is that initially the board approved the contract for the purchase of the real estate through a simple motion, and we're ratifying that through an actual ordinance tonight. Also, in the past month, we've done some title searches on properties located near the dedicated Hainesville Road on the south side of Route 120. Lucille Power Company is interested in having a second driveway access, and we did some title search, and Greg will talk a little bit about the results of those in his report. Also, in the past month, the mayor and I met with representatives from CENTCOM to discuss the routing of calls for the 911 calls for Hainesville, and also the use of surcharge funds. It was an initial meeting. Nothing was resolved at that meeting. We intend to have another meeting sometime in the next couple of weeks. Update the board as those discussions move forward. And then finally, we've been reviewing the village's hunting and discharge of firearms ordinances. We've received several requests for hunting permits, or for people to hunt in areas of the village in the last 6 months or so, and we want to make sure that our ordinances are both very clear. There are older ordinances that were probably adopted at the time the village wasn't as developed as it is right now.
Still have buffalo back then?
Yeah, there could have been buffalo, wolves, bears, I'm not sure. But we are going to update those ordinances. I've given the mayor a draft to take a look at that will probably be brought to you in March or April for approval once we have it. There are some areas where it's possible that hunting could be acceptable, but generally speaking, we need to make sure that people understand that you can't fire guns and shoot at animals in the village. And that's it.
Thank you. Village Attorney.
Engineer.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I'm still laughing.
We're laughing at the hunting.
During the past month, Mayor Soto and I were able to meet with the List Drive homeowners. There are people that are experiencing that erosion on their properties. We presented the plan to them, and we were able to get their concurrence as to what we're doing is acceptable to them. We're planning on submitting that for final permits from Lake County Stormwater Management this week, and we're looking at getting their final approvals in March, and we're looking at April bidding for that particular project, and then also May construction on that, so it's ready to go for the summer for the particular residents. Motor fuel tax, the pavement study that we approved last week. We need to get with Jeff and get a little more history as to when these subdivisions were first constructed, and get some firm dates and maintenance that's been done to date, but looking at completing those inspections and having a report probably next month available for the board. Hainesville apartment water main extension, plans are still at the IEPA, we're waiting on them. There's no additional news to report on the IEPA loan program. And then one final item is that Lake County is looking at updating their stormwater management ordinance. There's actually 83 proposed amendments. Right now it's open for a public comment period. The county board has to adopt it, and then the certified communities such as Hainesville will be required to adopt it. And we'll be looking at adopting it somewhere in June, July, or August months. But right now it's in the county's hands. And that's something that's coming down the pipe in the summer.
Thank you. Standing committee reports. Finance, Trustee Davis.
First of all, I'd like to recognize Kelly Hensley and Kathy for the work that they've been putting in the